Hey guys, what's up? This is Flame Jockey from Team OlKingLouie. I'm posting a video on YouTube today of a video that I had recorded yesterday. This is going to be an example of a video that we're going to be coming out with called Team OlKingLouie's Babadoobe Playtest of the Day. Now, just because it says of the day in the title doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be doing this kind of stuff every day. We just think it's kind of fascinating that you guys get to see decks like this, and we come up with certain ideas that we want to show. And yeah, we just enjoy playing the game, and we love showing this kind of stuff to people. Now, I understand that the video is a bit choppier than one would like. I'm working on that, and hopefully it'll be faster than usual. But this was the best at that point that I could come up with, that I could concoct. So yeah, I'm playing a plant build. I'm a very personally plants are my very favorite type of deck in Yu-Gi-Oh because they're a bit high maintenance, and I do enjoy that. Also, I think they're a blast to play, and I've always done my best with that particular deck. I've tried, like Six Samurai. I've tried Light Sworns before. I've tried Black Wings, and I love Black Wings and all that kind of stuff. But my favorite by far is always going to be plants. When the new format had presented itself, I wasn't completely sure as to how I should pursue a new plant build. So I had found ideas off of YouTube and stuff like that, and it had culminated into a few things that I had added into the deck or changed up in the deck, and it became this deck. I've been playtesting this deck, including today, with the actual deck itself, and I really am impressed with the deck. I only been going through a few losses, and there could be a few changes here and there that I want. Maybe throwing in a Titanial or something like that. But I'll be posting a deck list later, and I hope maybe you guys can come up with some ideas or give some suggestions as to what I should do with the deck. So, while I was talking, a few funny things had happened while the game was commencing. This guy thought that I had said an Icarus and a Vayu, and as a matter of fact, thought it was obvious. So I tried to toy with him a bit, kind of play along with it and go, "Oh, how'd you know?" And he was like, "Oh, it's so obvious." And then he MSTs into a Call of the Haunted, which at that point I wasn't really worried about very much. But when this guy had gone into Machinas, I was like, "Ooh, a Machina build." I like watching Machinas go off, and they are definitely a force to be reckoned with sometimes. So at first I was a bit worried, but with the way my hand was going, I was definitely a bit comfortable. I always love having that set Raikou and set what other trap card, because the thing about it is that sometimes, like you saw here, your opponent can't really read it all that well. But you keep doing it, obviously they're going to read it. But I just love that Raikou, and even if I don't use its effect and I don't mill 3, it's a light in the grave. And being as this is a chaos build that I'm using, it's just nothing but remove fodder for my chaos sorcerers and my my BLS and what have you. So when I read this Machina Fortress effect, this was my bad. I thought it had said destroyed by a card effect, not targeted. So that's what I'm doing right here. But either way, yeah. He had targeted my Gores, and I was a bit worried at that point. But hey, you know what? I had a Dark Hole in my hand, and I was fairly confident that I would be able to use it effectively anyway. So yeah, the match is continuing. He plays Monster Reborn, and I believe, yeah, he targets his Machina Gear Frame. At that point, I was a bit worried, but once again, it was okay because I had Dark Hole in my hand. So yeah, I play 1 for 1, mill off my Glow Up Bulb, and at that point, I kind of felt like I was trolling on this guy because he was pretty PO'd how I was getting off these combos, and this is why I like plants. This deck to me is like the king of combos, just like just plays after plays after plays, everything happening, getting these huge combos, overwhelming your opponent both, physically, and on an emotional level, putting the pressure on your opponent is something that I love with this deck. So yeah, I can't remember what I did at this point. This is how the format's going to go, though. I usually like just recording over the matches with my voice. I don't like doing it live because I can't concentrate very well on the game because I'm trying to implement my opinion onto the match or trying to entertain you guys vocally, you know, stuff like that. And it just doesn't work out. I've done it before. I don't think it works out very well. So yeah, I play the Dark Hole because I want that Machina gear frame off of him, so that way when I destroy him, it's completely assured that that thing is off the field. So that way, when I get my combos off, they really go off. So I choose to get out my glow up bulb, put it back up from the grave, use Zephyros's effect in order to put the glow up bulb back in my hand. Since I did normal, I was going to end up sinking for 5, and at this point I think I synced for Catastor, if I remember correctly. Now, Zephyros was a card that I was very in between about. It was a great card, but I was like, you know what, I could probably run something else with it. But as I played more and more on this deck, I had realized that Zephyros was a very necessary card and I needed it. It's just too good for those combos. And this is why. Yeah, the Catastor goes off. And yeah, so I go into my next turn. I'm fairly confident at this point because I have the Catastor in my hand, and obviously Machinas are all Earth. And yeah, at this point I was like, I may have this in the bag unless he draws something like a Dark Hole or some crap like that, which he ends up not doing. Right, so yeah, I get on my Treeborn Frog. Yeah, the god he goes goddamn top deck, and I think at this point he goes GG. Let's see here. I remember him going GG at this point, or maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, he does he GG's at this point. Yeah, that's the one thing I remember. This guy was really getting PO'd, but that's okay because you know what? To me, Salt shows salt. By salt, I mean anger, the emotion of anger. Salt means you have passion for the game, in my opinion, and you really feel a loss. You know, like there's such thing as being a good sportsman and whatnot, but when you're getting angry, you're not necessarily offending your opponent anyway. It's just showing that you feel that loss and you really want it to win. And this is a very respectful match. I definitely respected this player. The only reason as to why I won this match was because, quite frankly, plants, at the end of the day, plants become plants. Combos go off. See here, to my combo, sink for 9, get out Trishula, totally poo-poo on his deck, and then win for a game. It's not necessarily because Machinas are bad, it was just because usually what I find in Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks nowadays is it turns into a game of how fast can your combo go off. Every deck's got this crazy combo. It's just a matter of like how consistent can your combo be and how fast can you get it off. And what I love about plants is it's usually fairly consistent. And this deck is fairly consistent as well, being as it throws in 2-pot of duality, which I like a lot about it. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. So this is a small example, like I said, of videos we're going to be making. So this was an episode of Team OlKingLouie's Babadoo playtest of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You're going to be more people that are going to be making videos like these, such as my partner, Miles Pearson, and other people as well, maybe like Magic Decks and whatnot, maybe Team Fortress 2. The only thing we can do is wait till the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.